I think my weight might be at an all-time high or close. I've been eating so much. Man, it's been good, but I really want to try to lose some weight. Mainly, well, for health, but also for basketball and trying to dunk. I think if the lighter you are, probably the better chance you have. And I've talked about this before, but I kind of want to just see, like, experiment and see what being a little bit lighter will do for me right now. See if I've made any gains that I don't know about the past while from training. And I wouldn't know about it. The hypothesis is because perhaps I gained weight as I was gaining strength or power or something. So I'm kind of curious about that. But yeah, think I'm at an all time high. So it's just it's tough. When I was younger, I could decide to go on an extreme diet for several weeks and then I'd be um, where I wanted to be. As I get older, I'm a bit less extreme. I'm a bit more even keel emotionally. I'm a bit less extreme, like I said. And so, uh, even in basketball, I remember I used to play, and I would get angry about something, and I'm like, okay, I'm about to will my team to victory, that kind of thing. Watching Jordan videos and Iverson tapes, and and then when you're younger, your testosterone is higher, and you get a little more angry about things. But as you get older, you kind of think, don't. I'm looking more long term. What's my long term goal? If I do something stupid in the short term, um, it's gonna sacrifice my long term goal, and I don't want to do that. But just being older, you don't have that same. Sometimes it's in you that my brother would call it the eye of the tiger, but it takes a bit to get it out of you. So when I was younger, I might say, you know what, I'm not eating anything but grapes or something for a week or whatever it is, or carrots or whatever it is. Whereas now it's like, eh, I might as well just go ahead and have that sandwich. And sometimes I think it's good, and maybe if you have a work party or something at school, and you decided to go on a diet, but then when you get there, the next day they're having donuts. Some people may say, hey, it's a test, don't do it. But it might be a good idea to say, hey, you know what? Don't, maybe I won't start today. Maybe I'll start tomorrow. I got donuts today. And so having the wisdom to know what to choose. Sometimes going with the flow is the best option. Sometimes going with the flow will lead you towards another path that is probably a better path. Maybe it's better to go the path of moderation, and then having those donuts clues you into that. It could be another circumstance. I think about the great inventors of the past, and they were thinking one way and they were stuck, and then something serendipitously happened, and then that put them on another path. So sometimes it's good to go with the flow too. But that said, I still want to try to lose a bit more weight. I think I'm like, I got on the scale the other day. I was close to 187. So anyway, I got 95 on the bar. Do this. I'm still liking how these workouts are going. So, all right. went to see my grandmother this past weekend, and we had such a good time. My grandfather recently passed away, and so it's been really tough on my grandmother. She loved him so much. They were married, I think, over 60 years. We actually have the same anniversary. My wife and I have the same anniversary as my grandparents. They were high school sweethearts, and he had dementia, and she took care of him until the end. Like, and she didn't have any kind of care coming in. She just took care of him herself, and it was a very difficult thing for her. And now that he's gone, she just misses him so much. And so I went up to see her with my wife, and we talked, and she just told me about many of the stories in her life. And I was thinking as I listened to her, my grandmother was carried through a lot of things. And so, as an example, so right before she met my grandmother, or my grandfather, I think she was 17 at the time. Uh, her dad died when she was 17 years old, around that time. So she met my grandfather, got married, they had kids. They went to a church that was kind of oppressive in some ways. And during that time period, her brother, when he was 37 years old, was killed in a car accident. And then at the age of 42 or 43, her sister died of cancer. And I think about losing the idea of losing one of my brothers, and this, oh, it just makes me so sad to think about it. And so those things that she went through, and she was mistreated in a lot of ways at this church that she went to, and then my grandfather dies, and first having to take care of him when he got sick, and she took care of him for years, and so she just went through a whole lot. And just listening to her, I'm like, man, this is realizing just how incredible she is. And I feel like sometimes we take for granted the treasures that we have at our disposal. At our disposal, right near us. And that's, the people in our lives, we're there to obviously serve, and they serve us in many ways, but they also have just treasures. And sometimes, those older people, like my grandfather, passed away, and I think to myself, I wish I would have asked him this or that. And I even think about that with my own dad. I wish there were certain things that I could have asked him and would have asked him if I would have known, or if I would have thought about it. And so the ones that are alive in our lives now, whether they're friends or family, now is the time to talk to those individuals and share with them, and even give them something of value that when they leave, it's gonna be too late. So 1:15 on the bar. So good. Feels so good. Yeah, these workouts are feeling so good, in the sense, not only do they feel good while I'm doing them, but on the court when I play ball, it's like, especially if I rested a couple days, I just feel so good, man. And so I'm gonna keep doing it. I wasn't. My main goal was to get stronger to dunk, but it's like what I've discovered by doing this by accident is just feeling good while playing and just living. And it's just I'm gonna keep doing this training. Um, Even though I was in search of one thing, like I was saying earlier, I came across this other thing. And when you come across something of value, even if you not weren't searching for that, you gotta keep it. I think about that. I always talk about my wife and how so we celebrate our 20th anniversary this year coming up, and in May. And when I was younger, I wasn't, especially at man where I was in my life. Probably the last thing on my mind was getting married. I was just living a sinful lifestyle, and but anyway, when I met her, I knew that I had found somebody different, unlike any other girl I'd ever met, and I couldn't imagine my life without her. And so I had to keep her. I always liken it to, for those that are familiar with board games, probably not a lot of people, but when I was growing up, we used to play a board game called Monopoly. Most people probably know what that is, but anyway, playing this board game Monopoly, the strategy is to make more money than everybody else and bankrupt all your opponents. And when you play Monopoly, you know, you can buy properties around the board. But there's one property that's more expensive than every other property, and it's the property that also can make you more money than any other property. And so, even if you have a plan of buying certain properties, if you land on this expensive property, you do whatever you can to keep it. It's called Boardwalk. And if you get the one card and it says advance to Boardwalk, you buy it no matter how much money you got. If you got a mortgage properties, you do everything you can to get Boardwalk. And that's what it was like. You know, I had a certain plan in my life, and then I met my wife and landed on Boardwalk. So I don't know if she landed on Boardwalk. She probably feels like Boardwalk landed on her. Ha. But anyway, point is, what was the point? Started talking about this with someone I forgot. Let me do this set, and then maybe I remember. Oh, just the point of I had happened upon getting this uh, style of weightlifting as far as that makes me feel good, and sticking with it. And sometimes that's the way it is. If you got a certain plan but you come across something else, you just got to go with it sometimes. All right. Nice. I have this person in my life that recently became a Christian, and but some of their practices are still a little bit questionable in some ways, like willingness to lie at times. And so there was a situation that had just occurred, and I felt like I needed to talk to them and confront them about something. And so another person close to me thought, well, why don't you just text the person or message the person? And they didn't say those words, but that was kind of the idea. Anyway, just in case that person that you see this video, I don't want you to get upset. But anyway, point is, I decided to do it, and it just didn't come. I was originally thinking talk to the person in person, but I didn't do it, and because it was kind of a time was of the essence in a little way. Um, I mean, I was going to see the person that night, but it was kind of, you know, time was of the essence at that moment in my mind. So anyway, I texted them, and I don't know quite that they received it the way I wanted it to be communicated. And so, if you ever have the opportunity or the, um, yeah, just a chance to speak to somebody and tell the truth in a loving way, uh, it's better if you can do it in person. Which made me think, you know what, in life, what you say to someone matters. The truth matters. People say, oh, it's your truth or his truth or my truth. It's only one truth. 2 plus 2 is 4. 5 plus 5 is 10. Always. There's one truth. People have different experiences, and your experience may feel different from someone else's, or different perspectives and different. But there's one absolute truth. We all live on this earth and on this planet. We all share it together. And when people start thinking about their own truth over others, that's why there's so much pain, suffering, and injustice and evil in this world, because people are looking out for their own selves. But yeah, there's only one truth in this life, and so it's very important. It's very important to tell the truth. But the Bible says, "Speak the truth in love." It's how you tell the truth that also matters. It's what you say and how you say it. How you say things matters. You can say the exact same thing as someone else, but you deliver it a certain way, or from a heart. Your heart is, maybe you being a hypocrite. Maybe you say these words, but you aren't living them. So that person that you said them to doesn't even receive it. And that could be any one of us that falls under that. Sometimes inadvertently, sometimes, we know that we're being a hypocrite and we still saying something. Maybe we didn't think about it and we just say it. But what you say matters, and how you say it. And that doesn't mean that you can't deliver a message in a hard way, because sometimes that's necessary. How you say things matters. But ultimately, the rule is speak the truth in love. 155. All right, got 170 on the bar. Pretty good. I was a little stronger than last time. All right, 135. And then my body weight's set. Oh, that hurt my knee. Yeah, like a sharp knee pain right in the middle. But nothing too much to worry about, I don't think. So much for the workouts helping my knees. All right, last set, body weight. Might do some leg extensions after this, we'll see. All right, that's it. Hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, weekend, whatever day it is for you. If you're thinking about it and it's good, go ahead and do it. All right.